Okay, here we are, ready to open up this MOB Series 1 2026 Hobby Jumbo box. I probably do need to get, I don't know, a box opener at some point, but for now, scissors will work. Yeah, first break, first everything of the MOB here. Pretty excited. I did open up, I did open up a blaster box last night, just kind of testing the setup and made sure things look okay. Pulled, a couple of Paul Skeens on the inserts, a Paul Skeens spring training card, Titans of the Game, Jack Kaggs, Jonah Tong on the spring training, and then a Parker Messick rookie. We're kind of, the biggest hits, and we'll replace them as we kind of go throughout here. So yeah, let's open up and see what we got. I did forget in the intro, on top of the 10 packs and 40 cards per pack, we also get these beautiful silver cards. Or silver packs. And who knows what we're gonna earn in those today. So I'll just throw them up there, take out our beautiful packs here, and we can start ripping. It's gonna be a longer video, and I'll be honest with you, when I rip, I am pretty slow. I like to enjoy myself, right? I don't rip a ton. So when I do, I wanna make it worth it. I wanna join it, enjoy it, I wanna cherish it. A lot of rippers, I don't think do that, or breakers do that. You see a lot of videos where people are going through as quick as possible, opening, and that's just not really my MO for these. I enjoy to take my time, and so I applaud you and I implore you to watch on 1.25 or 1.5, whatever you need to do to kind of get through this recording. And with that being said, let's open our first pack. Super exciting. These are a little bit thicker than I was expecting. And our first card is Matt Shaw on the Cup card. Nice base there. Nationals, Byron Buxton, Otto Lopez, Devin Williams. Let's see, Dodgers team card, Corey Seager, Michael Wacha. I will say what's interesting is I don't know a ton about baseball. I wouldn't say I don't know a ton about baseball, but some of the kind of, the checklists are huge here. So one thing I always do is I always keep, speaking of this, Pearson Ole, I always keep rookies separately. I will always sleeve a rookie. It doesn't really matter, good or bad. I just like to make sure your guess is as good as mine. I know there's been some analytics out there that talk about a nice card here. Jacob Mizorowski on the rookie. Just a base, but again, always nice to snag rookies. You never know how careers are going to shape out. I did just see an interesting Twitter thread the other day, basically that it is pretty attached to your overall draft pick, where you were drafted, in terms of your career WAR, I believe was the graph. And essentially, the higher drafted you are, the better the WAR is, which I don't think every sport can say. NFL for sure, tons of buzz, NBA as well. So very interesting. And so there is like a defined checklist that you want, but it doesn't always follow through. O'Neal Cruz, Bradley Rodriguez, I actually pulled this earlier today too in that box, the blaster box. Nick Pivetta, ex-Philly right there. I do have my Bryce Harper jersey on. Juan Burgos, Ezekiel Tovar, Dominique Canzone, CJ Kavas. Some nice little rookies here. Getting a nice stack over here. And then there we go, the relic right off the bat. Giancarlo Stanton. Game used memorabilia. You don't always get game used or player worn, but this is nice. You even get a pinstripe in there with Giancarlo. This is beautiful. This is wow. And this is, it says a lot by my reaction. 4 out of 25. So I'd say a heck of a pull there right off the first pack. Wow. Instantly goes on, and let's just replace, let's put it right in the middle. I'll move Kaggs over, move Skeens off camera here. For the most part, whew, what a good start. What a good start to the breaking career here. First pack, we definitely had it backwards there, so I'm not sure which one is the front way. Let's just flip this over and take a look at what we got. Here we have Sean Murphy. What do they call this? The glitter, something glitter. I probably should pull this up then later and I'll walk through it. Another thing is, at the end of this video, I'm gonna kind of tally up what totals I have. I think I mentioned that in the intro. Sand glitter, yeah, that's what this is called, sand glitter. Sean Murphy is actually a very pretty card too. We'll just keep moving cards off if we got some pretty ones from this pull themselves. We have Manny Machado. Very nice. on the top 75. I don't know if that is anything. It might be a different variation there. I think it is. I think it's the older variation. We have greatest hits of Michael Bush. Mets team card, Gabriel Moreno, Trevor Larnach, Rhett Lauder on the Future Stars. Team, Jose Ramirez, Yuri Perez, Isaac Collins, and the D-backs team card. Very nice start. Love this so far. We have 2 cards up on the stands. We'll see if we can replace them. Another thing I love to do, I said I like to sleeve all of these, top sleeve these. Not top load them, just sleeve them, all of the rookies. I also like to do the same for any kind of non-numbered parallels of vets. I will just sleeve all of these, and then when we find a rookie parallel, what I'll do is I'll actually top load those. It's always top load rookie parallels, usually inserts as well. The best part I've learned about ripping so far is you just throw the paper on the floor. It's actually quite nice. Awesome. Right off the bat, Bubba Chandler. I know that's a big chase for this year. Ryan Nelson, Ryan Jeffers, Acuna's, I think this is Acuna's brother, Luis Angel. Future Stars will keep to the side. Actually, I do sleeve those. Getting the verbiage mixed up here. National League leaders in wins, which is nice. Joe Adele is a highly touted recruit at one point. I think I remember playing MLB The Show with him for a while. Andrew Vaughn, Yastrzemski. Love this as a Phillies guy. Love this. What is the card depicting here? Cheesesteaks Louisville postseason. Kyle Schwarber. That's a nice one. I'm going to keep that one off to the side. Lizardo Estrada, rookie. Gavin Williams, Logan Gilbert, Alex Freeland, Rafi, Eric Lauer, Tole, another good guy we're chasing here. Altuve, Kershaw, Edwin Cabrera, another team card of the Brewers. I do like the imagery. I think Stadium Club just came out. Love Ellie's there. There's a lot of good imagery coming out, but there's nothing like ripping flagship. I didn't really enjoy it as much for the NBA. I think it did just like a very little bit of it. But for baseball, there's just something nostalgic about ripping paper cards for baseball. Jimmy Crooks, The Judge, All Rise, Kerry Carpenter, Josh Lowe. And we first backwards card here, we got Tristan Peters, just on the rainbow foil, but a rookie, so this will get top loaded, and so this is kind of a separate pile for me here. I'll actually probably replace the Phillies and put the Phillies off to the side just so I have that for later on. Bobby Witt on the old school. I forget the actual years that they're using for this, kind of the throwbacks. This is gonna get sleeved. Cal Raleigh on the all teams. I love these all tops team cards. I just think they look like they should be worth more than they are, but they're just kind of, a little bit rare inserts, I would say. Christian Campbell in the Future Stars, National League leaders in RBIs. Schwarber leading the way. Glad to have him back. Lawrence Butler, great image. Brett Beatty, Dylan Cruz on the Future Stars. Dodgers duo. I love this one with Shohei and Yamamoto. It's a bummer for me. I was, I forget, was it game 1 or game 2? I can't remember. I've tried to block it out of my memory of the Phillies-Dodgers series. Zach Wheeler. Love to see that as a Phillies fan. Hope to see him come back as soon as humanly possible. And when this one with Cam Schlittler, another rookie we are chasing. But back to the story there. I went to Penn State. I am a Phillies fan. My brother and I went down to Philly to see, I think it was game 2 of the Phillies-Dodgers series, right after watching Penn State lose to UCLA. And it was just a tough day because, of course, we lost that Dodgers-Phillies game and ultimately the series in fairly heartbreaking fashion. Was not my day whatsoever. We did get a chance, though, to go see the Phillies when they came up to New York to play the Yankees in a 3-game series, but we went for 2 games. And they won the 2 we were at. So, you win some, you lose some, I guess. Gavin Sheets here to start off pack number 3. Chad Stevens, another rookie. Friedel, Camila Doval, Anthony Siegler, rookie. I feel like the pack luck so far has honestly been pretty good. Drew Gilbert, I think that's a name I've heard before, although you can get them confused with Logan Gilbert, Logan Webb. You got a lot of kind of the first, last names mixing up here in the sport. Riley Green, Josh Smith, Soler, Bradley Olber, Ooh, we got another Future Stars, which is nice. I'm gonna have to figure out probably a better cadence here. Otto Kemp, the Ottoman Kempire, one of the better nicknames I'd say. Biased, but Ottoman Kempire is a great nickname. Lenin Sosa, Stephen Kolek. But find out a new kind of way I sleeve things, because I'm going to go through, I think, a lot of sleeves if I go through the process I used for, let's say, Topps Chrome, where you had fewer rookies. There's so many rookies in these checklists for baseball, and especially with the Hobby Jumbo pack, you're just going to get a lot of that. You're going to get a lot of these cards that you didn't really see in Topps Chrome in the same stance, or same variety. Skubal, what was it, back-to-back Cy Young winner. Another relic from Miz. I thought we were only supposed to get one of those. And here we do have a second. We have Mizorowski on the auto relic. Wow, these sneak up on me. I don't do the peeking. Player worn memorabilia, so probably something he put on very briefly, but that is a very nice little patch there, a little relic. Wow, that is beautiful. We love that. We're gonna take Jonah off from earlier, and we're gonna throw down Miz. So far, two relics, which is pretty interesting. One being numbered to 25, so the luck is good. We have Jack Perkins here turned around, another sand glitter, and a rookie, which is even better. So we're gonna have to start moving a bunch of people here. I honestly should take the last Skeens off, and for now at least throw Tristan Peters up there as well. And then Kirby Puckett on the throwback card. We have Randy Johnson on the profiles. Great addition this year. I really, really like these. Just a good throwback look. And anytime you can incorporate Ken Griffey Jr., you do it. No questions asked. The kid, a legend. Blake Snell, Contreras, team card of the Royals, Gunnar Henderson. Honestly, would love to see a nice bounce back here for him, get back into the MVP contention. Teoscar, heartbreaker, him and Enrique, unbelievable in that playoff series against the Phillies. Breaks my heart every time I see a Dodger, and especially those two. And last card, Duran. Love that. One of the better intros. You know, I think it's such a great story how his intro followed him to the Twins, because he had built up such a good rapport and relationship with the Twins communication staff that he essentially had asked them to send over whatever materials they had for that so that the Phillies could replicate it in Citizens Bank Park. And my goodness, the first time they showed it, it gives me goosebumps. It still does. The only time I saw it, I think he did come into that Dodgers series, that playoff game we were at. The problem was we were losing, so the hype was not nearly as large there. But yeah, one of the better entrances, especially now that the Trumpets moved on to LA. Edwin Diaz, that was always electric to see a game at Citi Field when he came in there. One of the more electric things you can see in sports are some of these closer entrances. We're on to pack number 4. Like I said, this is why I said you should probably just speed through this. 1.25 if you're just in it for the rips. But they also sneak up on you because I don't like to go through them and open up and know what's coming. The surprise is honestly the best part. Although I didn't quite realize what I had in that Giancarlo Stanton, I wasn't quite sure that orange meant out of 25. Again, we're pulling a couple nice rookies here early. Austin Riley, I like that picture. Got the Red Sox celebrating here. Yoshida, Brandon Marsh, we love the beard. I do keep throwing Phillies back here off to the side. Didier Fuentes, this is a guy I've seen people pulling and enjoying pulling. So there must be some hype around him. There's Logan Webb. Looks a little bit like Jesse Plemons, the actor. Friday Night Lights, a couple things, got from a distance maybe. Travis Adams, another rookie. Like this so far. Another Parker Messick, which I still have up there. Jacob Lopez. Should be getting down here to where something starts to happen. Kyle Teal. Hop into it. That's a great action pick right there. Ozuna, I believe he's signed to 1 year with the Pirates now. They actually spent money. What a shock that is to everyone in Pittsburgh. Will Vest. It's another great picture. Tristan Peters, rookie. I think we're getting close here to something. Yep. All right, it's backwards. We'll see. Ooh, Edmundo Sosa. Certain population demographic out there loves this guy. And I mean that by the Chief Keef song. What do we got? We have Sand Glitter. Sand Glitter Edmundo Sosa. We'll throw Parker Messick to the side, and we'll put up a Sand Glitter Edmundo Sosa. One of the best clutch guys. I wish we had a more consistent spot for him throughout the season outside of injuries, because I kid you not, every time he stepped up to the plate, unbelievable things happened. Bryce Matthews on the throwback. Right now, we have all of our spots filled, but I will take Sean Murphy off because he is just a vet parallel, and we can throw Bryce Matthews in here. We have Kutch on the greatest hits. Loved Kutch's time with the Phillies. A terrible ACL tear ended up kind of halting him there, which was a bummer. But I do love me some McCutch. And Tindy, Carson Seymour, Matt McLean, Willie Adames, Brandon Garcia. I just love the rookies. You truly never know what's going to happen with some of these guys' careers. And then we end with a Luis Morales. And so you just got to keep them. You got to keep them. You got to figure out what's going on. So far, I'm pretty happy. If we called it quits now, we definitely don't have our money back. But like getting two relics, pretty great. I am very intrigued to see what our auto is going to be. I guess we'll find out here in the next few packs. Maybe this is the one. Who knows? Shota, David Bernard, another rookie. Cody Clemens was on the Phillies for quite a while. Dalton Rushing, future stars. What do we got here? ERA leaders for the American League. Rafala, McGill. Let me try to go through these maybe a little faster. Marsh again. Didier Fuentes, Brady Singer, Logan Webb, Travis Adams. Coming through. Warming Bernabel. This is another one. What a great name. What a great name for the sport of baseball. Hope he gets some time this year. American League leaders in batting average. Jeffrey Springs, Clay Holmes. Future stars of Kumar Rocker. Another guy I was glad to see leave the Mets organization just from a purely competitive standpoint as a Phillies fan. But we'll see what he does for the Rangers once he actually starts to get going here. Bronx Buddies. Grant Holmes, like some of these. Giancarlo, our boy. Jan Keel. Miguel Vargas. Yep, here's the backwards. It's the big dumper. What do we have? Big dumper on the rainbow foil. Wow, that's a pretty card. What a great pose by him too. Great pose. I'm just gonna throw that off to the right here for now. We have Mark McGuire on the throwback. Kelvin Sampson, I believe, right? That's the Houston Cougars NCAA basketball men's head coach right there on the first pitch. Very nice. I've been seeing a lot of, there's a surfer who's been getting pulled a lot, Jesse Eisenberg getting pulled a lot. This is the first I've seen of Kelvin Sampson. I am going to keep this in my top sleeve. I do enjoy some college hoops. Christopher Sanchez, probably the main reason why Ranger Sanchez is no longer a Philly and he's up in Boston. It's because the emergence of Sanchez over the last few years. We have Colson Montgomery, Max Schumann, Max Fried, Christian Moore, another rookie. Mariners team card, Shea, Ronnie Mauricio, and there he is. There's Cags. Our first base Cags, as you saw at the beginning of this video, I did pull a Cags. I believe it was either a Titan or MLB Stars of the Game, whatever the pulls are there for the blaster boxes. I am gonna have this fall over on me eventually here. Perfect. We are exactly halfway through. Halfway through. Pace is good. Let's see what else we can pull here. Definitely got something down the line here. Another rookie. Ogasawara. Haven't seen his card yet. Mickey Moniak. Really wanted him to be something on the Phils. Didn't happen. Glad to see he went to the Angels, played pretty well. He was in that Brandon Marsh deal for us. Now over in Colorado, which is great. He's got a lot to do there in the outfield with how that elevation works. Troy Johnston. Romy. Jonah Heim. Basayo. This is another rookie who I hadn't pulled yet. This is a good one. Mies. Caminero. Getting something for Caminero would be great. Parallel, numbered, you name it. Carson Williams. Rafi. Bubik. Oh, there's Tole again sneaking in behind Eric Lauer. Killer stash. Second in the game, I'd say, only to Spencer Strider. And again, hope he's back and healthy this year. Just Probably the best stash. Honestly, best hamstrings in the game. The man's got quads for days. Sus comment, but whatever. You're here for it. Kershaw could be the last Kershaw we see in tops from a base perspective. So definitely something that I'll probably actually keep off to the side here. Maybe I'll throw it back with my Phillies stuff, just because you don't know if this is it for him. We've seen that Red Sox card, Drew Rasmussen, Tristan English. We got Corbin here, Max Muncy, Victor Scott, Rangers team card, Crochet, Bryce Terang, Luke. Here's our backwards, Jacob Young. So far they've been, oh, this is Aqua. Aqua, not numbered, so I guess it's Rainbow Aquas, I think what they'd call this. I'll look this up after, give a better breakdown then. We'll throw that here. Another backwards, Will Warren on the Sand Glitter. It's a pretty card, especially with the Yankees silver in the background. Byron Buxton on the throwback. This is our first one of these inserts. What is this? The big ticket of Vladdy Guerrero Jr. It's a pretty card too. Big fan of this one. Ellie Diaz. Now we're back to vertical cards with Andrew Lara, Will Benson, Casey Schmidt, Cody Freeman, Angel Martinez, Chad Patrick, Jacob Marcy, Trevor Rogers, and there we go. That is pack 6 in the books. We are losing some things here. We have some great cards, which I should have put over here to start. Now we go, 4 to go, and then of course we have our silver packs, which I do have hidden up top here, but I'll throw just off to the side for everyone to see. We're still not, we haven't hit our auto yet, so we have 4 more packs here to hit an auto. We're gonna start pack number 7 for us with Agustin Ramirez. Then we have batting average leaders. Always nice to see a Philly there. There's the man. Look at that stash. Strider's the man. Hope he does play well this year. Hope the rest of the team does not, but hope they're all healthy, because that's kind of been what's been holding them back for the last few years. This one, whatever, don't care. Matt Olson, wish that would have went on the floor. Kind of got put over there with my Phillies cards. Cabrian Hayes. I don't know, when did he leave the Pirates? I don't know where he started. Yeah, I guess so. He just got traded last year. Must have missed that in the news cycle. Cubs team card, O'Neal Cruz. I love this O'Neal Cruz card. I like some of these action shots. They're just very nice, especially when you get the ball in them. Bradley again, Brandon Donovan, the mid slide. There's another, I think Pete Crow Armstrong has a pretty cool card, but that might be the stadium collection of him diving headfirst like that. Astro Celebration, Bobby Witt, Mookie, again another one where he's almost jumping out of the frame. Jacob Young, got some great home run grab pictures in the outfield here for some of these guys. A's team celebration, Ronald Acuna Jr., Will Warren, Jacob Melton, I don't think we've pulled him yet, Bo Naylor, Brian Wu, Carson Wisenhunt. That's pretty sick. That's a good card right there. Good photo. Tyler Freeman, Adolis again. Adolis, I feel like we pulled it. Did we pull Adolis earlier? I can't tell if this is an image variation or not. Maybe not, but I'm going to keep this off to the side so I can check it. It probably isn't. I have no idea what is and what isn't. Here we go. Topps Baseball autograph card. You see what it is right there. It is Ryan Ritter on the throwback, and it's a rookie. That is an on-card Ryan Ritter throwback auto. That definitely takes probably, I'm just gonna take Bryce Matthews off and put that next to Giancarlo. It's not numbered, but my goodness, is that a sweet card. We'll throw Bryce over here. Wow, there you go. Ryan Ritter. 91, is that what this variation is? I guess it does say it on the card. I just am not a great reading. Ramon Urias on the Sand Glitter. We have Seiya Suzuki on the throwback. Now is this one, yeah, see it's T91, so I think it's 1991 is when these are. Here we have Cags on the profiles. That's a great one. We love that. Give me anything Cags right there. Again, I'm gonna throw this back here for my rookie parallels or variations there to top load. We have some pretty good cards here on the thing. Cool Crushers. Love this one. Two of the best. Two of the best right there. Yusei Kikuchi. Royce Lewis, excuse me. Spencer Schwellenbach. Big Dumper, Judge, and Caminero. Home run leaders for the AL. Bregman. Yamamoto. Pedro Pajes. And we'll end it with the Tigers American League team celebration. 3 packs left. We have our auto. We have 2 relics. I don't think it gets much better than this. Can't ask for anything more. I am going to switch out, not Miz. I gotta keep Sosa up there. Maybe we'll take Tristan Peters off and we'll throw the Cags insert off to the side. It's a nice card there. And we'll keep ripping through. There we go. So I wasn't wrong. Pete Crow does have a pretty nice diving. It was not Stadium. It was the regular flagship. Such a nice card there. Let's turn these back around. Pete Crow, Zach McKinstry, Ryan, Nathan Church. Again, first rookie card for him to collect there. Sagano, or that I've collected. Nick Casty. Sad end to Nick's reign with the Phillies. Definitely was not a defensive juggernaut by any means. But had some magical moments in Citizens Bank Park. We'll be sad to see him go, but I think he signed directly with the Padres pretty much right after. But always loved having him and his son Liam at the games. Just some good energy all the way around. Ryan Ritter, who now we have an auto of here. Shane Smith, Brendan Donovan, Astros team, Bobby Witt. I think we've got like 3 of these. Definitely got a couple Mookies as well, and a Jacob Young. Mookie and Jacob Young, I think the word is they use collated here. They usually show up together in these rips. A's team, there's Acuna again, Hunter Brown, Alejandro Kirk. Love Alejandro Kirk. He's a fun player to root for. Zach Maxwell, Evan Carter, Bob Seymour, Blaze Alexander. It's funny, I think growing up there was a Blaze Alexander like car dealership near us. We always used to get Blaze Alexander ads kind of driving to and from high school and whatnot. Funny throwback there. DeGrom, Kyle Karros, who I believe is Eric Karros' kid. I think I heard that got confirmed. Lindor, Roki Sasaki on the Future Stars. I like that one. National League leaders for ERA. Chris Sanchez making the list there. Yamamoto, Roki's teammate, of course, and then the man, the myth, Paul Skeens. James Wood, excuse me. Oh wow, we got a pink rainbow foil here of profiles by Ken Griffey Jr. You can see not numbered here, but it is nice pulling a pink variation there. Throw that in the corner. And then, yes, we can see it, Daniel Schneemann. I thought that is Schneemann. I think that's the pronunciation there. On a nice rainbow foil. I believe that's just rainbow foil, yep. And then Big Dumper on the throwback, 1991. Chase Burns, rookie card on the insert. That's a good one. I'd like to pull his rookie base as well. Throw that in this pile. Nolan Arenado, Carlos Estevez, Joey Leparfido, Villa. There's Bryce. It's been about time I pull a Bryce. I'm pulling it back in here too. I like the alt uni. He's got the elbow guard in there, the sleeve with the Fanatic. He tries to rock Philly through and through as much as he can, which, the city appreciates. There he is, the password Garcia. I think his brother has a similar name. I don't know if they're going to call it like Password 2, kind of how that's going to be as his brother makes his way up the ranks. But snagging the password is nice. And then James Wood again. And so here we are. We're in the home stretch. 2 packs left. I am going to move this Chase Burns over to this little pile to top load later. 2 packs left. And then, of course, the silver packs. And then you'll have me back on screen to chat through the value here as we go through. And yeah, so let's get into it. Start right off with another rookie. Acosta, Felix Bautista, Trey Turner. Ooh, we're dropping some out of the hand here. Grant Taylor, Michael Bush, Nick Gonzalez, Kennedy Corona. See, we're even this far in, we're getting new rookies that we haven't snagged yet. And that's always nice to see some new card art, some new players. Narvaez, Matt Strom, the Ottoman Kempire again, strikes again. That's Steven Kolick, Lizardo Estrada, Gavin Williams, Logan Gilbert, Alex Freeland, Jesus Luzardo. Had some moments with the Phillies where he just looked like he could not be touched. And then he really struggled in some other games. So very up and down season for Jesus. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, ended up being fairly decent from an ERA standpoint. Yeah, 3.92, which was a good bounce back after his 2024 season with the Marlins. Had a very solid WAR. Hoping he can keep that trajectory up. Need him as kind of that third, fourth starter, especially with the departure of Ranger and Wheeler not coming back right away. Bryce Matthews, Daniel Palencia, Xandar, Joe Rock. That's a hell of a name for a pitcher. I like that. Jake Fraley, Ramos, Shohei. There we go. The first Shohei of the video of my pulls. I'm gonna keep that like it's an insert. Like sometimes you just gotta break some rules. Like I won't even sleeve some of the Phillies players here, but I will absolutely always sleeve a Shohei. Javier Baez. Javi, what a stretch he's had in his career. Here are the backwards cards. Let's see what we got. We got Troy Melton, again, not numbered, but a rookie card on the rainbow foil, which we always like to see. I don't think it tops the list here. And then Jack Bagwell on the 1991. We have Byron Buxton on the greatest hits. Hayden Birdsong, Future Stars. Team card for the Royals. Jurickson Profar. Ben Rice, Colby Thomas, another rookie. I just realized I was throwing some of the bases over here, which I don't want to do. Colby Thomas, Nico Horner, Joey Bart, Dylan Smith, and we're ending it with Davis Martin. So there we go. Actually, I think it is time for Edmundo Sosa to come. I guess he goes into this pile. Got to figure out my own piles here. We have Troy Melton joining the ranks of our good cards, of our hit cards, putting 3 real fire cards in the middle there between Miz's patch, Giancarlo Stanton, and Ryan Ritter's on-card auto. Remember that Stanton's to 25, 4 out of 25. Last pack before we get into the silvers, so let's try to close it out strong here. Austin Wells, Brady House, Jacob Wilson cup card. I love these cup cards, they're very nice. Francisco Alvarez. There he is, Roman Anthony with the cup card, rookie. Have not pulled him yet. Did not pull him in the blaster either, so very nice to have a Roman. Baseball BFFs, very fun. Zach Neto, Caleb Durbin, Ben Williamson, another Warming, Tyler Stevenson, Patrick Bailey, Kyle Backus. It's a good photo there. JT Ginn, McMahon, Miz base, New Age A's, Brian Bello, Big Dumper on the base, Troy Melton, again here, Matthew Boyd, Spencer Horwitz, Wickelman Gonzalez, that's a name. Ripping baseball is so fun, man. You just get so many different names. There's our Sosa again, Jack Perkins, Sean Murphy. Here come our backwards, Daniel Sheeman again on the gold rainbow foil. I did not see if that is numbered. That is numbered, 209 to 399. There we go. We have another numbered card. Cags, I think you're gonna have to take a step off here. We'll throw that numbered up on the edge. Next one we have is Will Vest. Will Vest just on the rainbow foil there. We have Ryan Ritter, big Ryan Ritter pack. Again, him with another kind of retro throwback card here, 1991. Again, we're gonna throw these over to the side. We have Mookie on the big ticket player insert. Kyle Freeland, Contreras, Nolan McLean, there we go. This is another name we've been looking for, have not been able to find until this very moment. Michael Harris, Volpe, Cole Young. We have Mason Miller, Kutch again, Kutch with a very nice card. And then we'll end it with, it looks like Chase Burns. So overall, pretty successful pull from what I can tell. We'll see if it was worth $210 after we rip our 2 packs here. I'm gonna clear some room so that we actually can more safely open these up. I believe it's 3 cards and then kind of a little like back card that Topps has in there, so you can't peek really, I think is kind of the intention there. Just open this up. We'll turn it around. We'll see what we got. Buster Posey. I think these are called the Mojo design. Buster Posey. Derek Jeter. Wow, cannot go wrong with Derek Jeter. Miggy. And then Vladimir Guerrero. So honestly, four very good players to pull there. And then yeah, Topps has this little insert. So pretty happy with those 4. Jeter obviously kind of doing that quintessential jump throw. And here we go. The last 4 cards of the last 4 cards of the session before I go and analyze. And we will start with Chipper Jones. Man, what a pretty card that is. Chipper, Christian Yelich, nothing numbered here, but Cal Ripken Jr. And we'll try to do a little peek here to see if there's anything numbered. Does not look like it. And we'll pull through, and it is Pete Crow Armstrong on the dive. Very nice indeed. Awesome. So that's the rip. You can kind of see the spread here before you. Some pretty big hits between the 2 relics, 2 patch relics there, and then Ryan Ritter on the on-card auto. Stay tuned. In about 2 seconds, you'll see me back on the screen chatting through the valuation, whether or not this whole box was worth it. See you soon. Okay, welcome back. Thanks for bearing with me while I went through, sleeved everything, top-loaded everything, mag-cased one, and pulled the comps of what's available for everything that we pulled that I have out here on the table. So remember, we started with $210. That's what the box was worth. Let's see how we fared. So we're just gonna go through the top 5 valuations, but I'll kind of lay out how I have these kind of broken out. So again, everything top-loaded is rookie inserts, rookie parallels, veteran numbered cards, but it's mainly for what this pull was, rookie parallels or rookie inserts, things that I just think may have a little bit more popping off value long term. Then we have all of our veteran parallels that aren't numbered, just swiping through. Most of these things, and another thing is I put all the future stars in here. They're technically base cards, but they're, I would say, slightly above base in terms of what they actually are as cards. And so I incorporated those into here. I was able to get a comp on most of them. Some of them came up zeros. Most of them are between, right, $1 and $4. Here we have all of the 1991 veteran variations, which were just nice to kind of compile and keep a little bit separately there. Here we have all of the inserts. Again, some people don't like inserts. You don't keep base inserts. I do. I think they're fun. I think they're cool cards. They're things that I want to keep, especially this Randy Johnson, the unit. Definitely something I want to hold on to for a little bit. First pitch I threw in here, the greatest hits, etc. You don't need to keep these, but I do like to keep them. If you ask me where I found some of these comps, I get everything off of Sports Card Pro. You can kind of just add them to your collection when you look them up, and it's pretty good with eBay's listings and solds. There's a little bit of a lag for the most recent of sales, but for the most part, only a few day lag. I also use Market Movers just because it's much more recent and has a little bit better search value there. I don't subscribe to either of those. It's kind of the free user idea for both of them. But yeah, next we go. I just have kind of what we pulled from the silver packs, all of our mojos, and then these are all of our base rookies. And yes, I kept every base rookie. I sleeved them. I looked for some value. Again, some of them don't have anything because they're not going to be popular cards. Other ones, a little bit more valuable. Roman Anthony, I think, was close to $4 in value alone. And now we'll kind of get into the top 5 cards of this box. And I have my proof over here to look at. So we'll start on the far left, and we'll go to the James Wood Pink Profiles foil or pink foil on the Profiles insert, coming in at around $7. And then we'll move to Tristan Peters on the right-hand side here. Tristan Peters, and I'll lift this one up because there is more of a reflection here, comes in right on $10 in valuation. What's very interesting about the next two, one, the Ryan Ritter on-card auto, going between $10 and $11. I did mag case it before I actually looked up the valuation. I might change this back to a top loader, but for all intents and purposes, I always love breaking out a mag case. Just feels a little bit sturdier and nice to have around and definitely on the stand. Then we'll come to Giancarlo Stanton. Now, if you remember, right, Giancarlo Stanton, this ended up being, I believe they called it the team relic, the one relic. And I looked over to my computer, but the funny thing is it's not there. This card doesn't have a comp because it is 1 out of 25, but actually none of the variations, it's 4 out of 25, but it is one card out of 25. There is no valuation. There are no comps. None of these variations have sold yet. So very intrigued. I am in New York, and so I hope I'll find a good value and get a good trade out of it. It is right orange rainbow here with a pinstripe. So TBD. And then Jacob Mizorowski. This was the number 1 card I could get a comp for in terms of valuation, coming in at right on $25. It is just kind of the solid blue patch, but you can see the stitch work in there with some dots, so not entirely sure. It must have been a different uniform than the one, obviously, he's wearing in this card. But yeah, an awesome card. Player-worn memorabilia. Not as good as the game-worn memorabilia, but also much better than what they're selling now are some of these unaffiliated memorabilia, which you want to stay as far as humanly possible away from unless there's some sentimental value with the cards here. And so all of that being said, kind of calculated the top few cards, gave a rundown of what I've actually sleeved and what I kind of tried to look up comps for. Comes down to what actually is the grand total here. So remember, I bought everything for $210, maybe some tax and shipping goes on top of it. I ended up making $43 if I were to sell everything at the exact comps they're at. So my earnings, come through. My total profit with all these cards is $43, bringing back in about $253 all in with the valuations here. Honestly, not bad. I've seen a lot worse from some of these hobby jumbo boxes. Obviously having 2 relics counts, and we're not even including one of the relics, which is arguably the most expensive card. I'd say that could go anywhere from 50 to 100 plus, especially here in the New York metro area, depending on how much Giancarlo plays, so far yet, or, this coming up season. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out here, as always, with Smart Rip Society. Rip smart, keep smarter. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next video.